Mandalorian season 4 is moving forward. And there were rumors that it was going to be maybe a movie or maybe a TV show because we've already done 3 seasons, but they're talking about maybe, we're going back and forth. But now it's come forward that it is going to be another series. They're going to do like 8 more episodes. It's coming on Apple TV Plus, Apple TV's Disney Plus. There's too many pluses out there, everybody. But what's it going to be about? Well, recently at Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes mobile game creator of EA came forward because the games actually tie into the series a lot. And he actually came forward and released that this show is going to be called New Mandalore, or just Mandalore by itself for season 4. And it's really going to focus on Bo-Katan. Now, of course, Din Djarin's going to be still there, and there's an idea that it's going to be him and Grogu taking adventures into hunting down Imperials under the table for Carson Veda and the New Republic. But also on top of that, Bo-Katan will undoubtedly continue to be an important part of the story, and she will be building the Mandalore culture back on Mandalore, or the Mandalorian culture back on Mandalore, and get that back into full effect. And as Mandalore, Bo-Katan's choices into the Mandalorian form, she has an impact on the future of the Mandalorian race, and it's going to be a lot on Mandalore and rebuilding and restructuring and making that something huge, and she will be a big part of it moving forward. So it sounds like to me they're going to split the story a little bit going back and forth, and I just feel like connect them somehow. Like, how are we just not together? If Grogu is out here and then she's over there, we're going back and forth. This last one at least brought together. I know it had a lot of hate. I know a lot of people were not happy with where the story was going. But I think at least you had one cohesive story about let's get back to Mandalore. Let's save the Mandalorians. Let's get together again. And then conquer Moff Gideon and finally destroy him. But there's no rumor. There's no like actual word on who the villain will be or how it'll tie in. Of course, we are leading towards that movie. We're going to tie all of this franchises together. Ahsoka, Mandalorian. We're gonna bring in all of them together and fight again against. It'll probably be in one big movie, as they're saying. So, but to me, I'm not sure. Like, maybe we should have just done a movie. Maybe we should have stopped Mandalorian and just went into the movie, because we have had a lot, and it was a good stopping point too. Yes, we got Mandalore back. Yes, Mandalorians can be themselves again. Yes, it can be respect again. We're not just like living on the outskirts of different planets. But I don't know. Like, I'm kind of torn on it, because I did like the last season, but I wasn't sold on it. I like Bo-Katan, fucking sexy Bo-Katan in that costume, and Din Djarin. I'm saying a lot of people would have banged her. I would have banged her. I mean, even you fucking see the pictures I'm gonna show you later. She looks hot. But we hear this, Mike. Do you think that we should be doing a series of, or should we go into a movie, or we should just let Mandalorian be alone as it is? And do you want to see them split apart in a new season of Mandalorian?
I don't know. I like these Boba Fett, Mandalorian people. I don't know. I got bored like 2/3 of the way through the first season. What I did learn,
Mandalorian?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. Totally. It's just.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Like it's just a Western and it's slow. Like
it took me a while to get.
I'm interested to go back to it because Grogu's adorable, and I will check it out. But it really did dropped off my must see list right away. What I am concerned about, because initially, Grogu here, I thought he was a blatant ripoff of Gizmo from Gremlins. But then it was brought to my attention that if Yoda had a baby with an Ewok, that is what would have given birth to Gizmo from the Gremlins. So, so Grogu is actually ripping off a ripoff of its own property.
Yeah,
it's layers within layers. I mean, I think that Christopher Nolan would be an excellent selection for
That's why you're a
director,
resident intellectual,
really,
Mike.
They're looking at you weird right now. They're like, what do you say?
That's my take, Brian.
Mike, do you think that it's just the fact that Grogu is there, like people will watch it though, or do you think that there is some fatigue with this franchise?
It's Christmas. There's absolutely fatigue. Star Wars, they've totally diluted their IP, way beyond any realm of acceptability. Last people I had a discussion with about this, like, it used to be an event. Like, even when Star Wars movies were coming out, 3 years. Think of how much excitement you can build up in 3 years. You can't do it when there's 3 releases a year, like minimum. It's not the same. I do think in the Christmas season now, like, I can't even imagine just the millions of tons of petroleum used to build plastic Grogu products. Like, it's great. I mean, it's cute. Yeah, people want to see more Grogu. I want to see Grogu. That's the only reason I would tune back in.
Oh yeah, people want to see Grogu. It's a big thing. He's a big selling point of the whole show. The child, yes, a big selling point. But here's
the baby.
I'm just torn on it because I'm torn on it because it's like, we've been doing this for 3 seasons. People have been starting to be like, okay, we're a little bit fatigued on it. Where's it going? How is this tied into the bigger narrative? Can we get to the bigger narrative? We've done other spinoffs. They haven't done as well. We're going to do more. Ahsoka didn't sell as much as it should have. But do you think, Sean, that the season 4 should happen as a series, or should they just again, let's let it, ride them off into Western distance and then bring them into a movie later?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing everything kind of just get wrapped up. I do think that it's been a little stretched, especially the second and third seasons. There was a lot of fluff. There's a lot of stuff that didn't really matter at the end of the day. There was stuff that really didn't kind of make sense to the overarching, kind of where the story was going. Don't even get me started on the Jack Black Lizzo cameos. What the fuck was that about?
Weird.
It was very weird, very not great. But I do think what season 3 did is plant a lot of seeds of it was very obvious for where they were going to go if they got another season. Obviously she's going to try and rebuild Mandalore by uniting the different factions of Mandalorians. I liked that. I thought it was a nice way to kind of capstone and just kind of let that character be. All right, they're going to go off that and we're going to get more goofy adventures with Grogu and
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that, Sean.
Yeah, no,
What's that cartoon?
Can I just quick question? Was that a picture of a combination between the Great Gatsby and Grogu? Is that what was happening there with the Chablis fucking glass?
Yes, it was.
Great job, Sabrina.
Yeah, that's actually Leo DiCaprio
Unbelievable.
playing Grogu in that scene.
I always, it's funny, when you look at shows like a Star Trek, those episodes for the most part are self-contained, right? They have an issue that occurs in the beginning, they figure it out, characters are involved or not, and they change from thing to thing, but you don't have to watch all of it to really get the gist of what's going on. And I think if they did more little one-off little capers with Grogu and and Din, I think it would probably be a nice little turn for it. But however, as Mike said, they've kind of built themselves into a corner here where the IP is very diluted. I still don't know how people file taxes on Tatooine, and
I've been asking for that for a while too.
I have been. I've been very upfront about
taxes on the spice.
I need to know. Oh, don't even get me started on spice.
On the spice, I know. Trust me, I know.
No, but it's the Disney-fication of everything that we used to hold near and dear to our hearts that's just been repackaged and sold in a highly disposable way, and it's disappointing to see. I completely agree with Mike. Yes, it used to be a big deal when something came out, and now it's almost something comes out and I'm like, I'll just wait for it to go to streaming. Or
oversaturation of the market.
It's very oversaturated the market. But no surprise, right? I mean, Disney owns Marvel. They've fucking ran that in the ground. Disney owns Star Wars. They're gonna run that shit into the ground.
We don't have enough. There's not enough time in the afternoon to watch all of the must see TV.
But it's not must see TV. It sucks dick. They've done so much that it sucks dick. Not that sucking dick is bad. I enjoy that sometimes. My point is that it's just it's not great.
Hi, Mike's mom.
Yeah. When she's gone. She's gone. She hasn't commented in a while. She pops in. She's gone. Trust me. I've been watching the comments. That's what I do.
I love Star Trek versus Star Wars. It'd be great.
By the way, you said more fucked up shit, Sean. I don't want to hear it.
And my mom liked it, though. She laughed.
Yeah, of course.
Give me some of that Babu Frick. Bring that Babu Frick image back.
Babu Frick is the man.
Babu Frick is my number one.
Tell me Babu Frick's story.
I just think we have more characters to dive into, and the Din Djarin story is great and all. I still have fun with it, but it's we could just we can branch it off to something else. Put them in a different storyline with somebody else.
Again,
you want a new character story, but you're upset that they're focusing on her instead of him.
Well, I just think I don't like that they're separated. The idea is they're going to be separated, and I'm I don't need 2 separate storylines. I mean, give me a whole show about that, or take him and put him with somebody else. And put a different adventure with him and somebody else.
If they're going different directions, then that's 2 shows. If she is going to rebuild Mandalore,
should be separated. Yeah,
if she's rebuilding Mandalore and he's doing something else, then fine.
That's where I'm this is the little bit we have for the information though. It's they're gonna. It seems like it's gonna be too much in one show. We can just take it, split it in half, and have him Mando go on this new adventure. And if you want to do a whole different spin-off about Mandalore rebuilding, let's do that. It might be cool.
Yeah,
Sean.
Yeah, But this is the whole problem that this is why Boba Fett was such a shit show too, right? Like there was just too much going on. It was bouncing around between past and present, and it was just weird. It was just not a good way to do it. Quick plug though, again, I think I mentioned this previously. The books that have come out, the series of books called From a Certain Point of View, that tells the minor character stories, points of view about like big things that are happening or plot points within the original trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6. So highly recommend that if you haven't read those books yet. It's a nice little. I picked it up as an audiobook off of Audible, and it was a good time. It was just fun to kind of you're following the plot of the movie, but through the what the Jawas are really doing inside of the Sandcrawler while they're selling to Luke and Uncle Owen, that kind of shit. Like it's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I want more shit like that. But. A
lot of English I don't know there, but
I think that's what. I think that's what they're trying to do different stuff like this. I think that's the idea of all these spin-offs. But overall, I feel like I get there's a big narrative coming, and I can't wait to see where it comes. Sabrina, how do you feel about this? Okay, again, like we're splitting up Din Djarin, we're splitting up Bo-Katan. I love Bo-Katan again. I'll say it again. I love them both, but like you're splitting it up, so it seems like it could be a little convoluted. Do you want to see this new season even move forward, or would you like to see something else in Star Wars?
Okay, so to be clear. The very first season of Mandalorian, I was like, no, thank you. Hardcore, no, thank you. Then every time I saw this little fucker, I was like, I have to watch it. I have to watch it. I have to see him. I need to see him as much as possible. He's the cutest thing. He's the best present I've ever gotten in my life. Thank you, Brian.
He's life size.
Yep.
He is so cute, and I love him. The dogs were jealous of him at one point. Like I used to sleep with him. Like that's how much I love this little fuck. He's like the elf on the shelf, like in our house. Like the elf, like I open the closet and I'd be like, "Oh, hey, bud." He'd be like in my backpack when I'm going to work, or at the coffee machine with his hand on a K-pod. What are those things called? What kind of pod?
Yeah, Keurig machine.
Yeah, whatever,
K-cup.
whatever. K-cup. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So he's like me holding the fucking thing. I mean, it's adorable, and I love him. I fucking love this little fuck. So that's the only reason why I even watched The Mandalorian. And after the very first season, I was very pleasantly surprised. I liked it a lot. I was like, this is fucking great. The second season was slightly less great. Hot as fuck. Nice picture. The third season, there's always a decline. A decline happens. And I think that people were more pissed off about Bo-Katan kind of taking the front seat than they were about the season itself. I think it was more, and I don't want to say sexist. I'm not saying it's a sexist thing. I just think people don't like change, and they wanted like a specific thing, and that's not what they got. And so there was like kind of a shift, and a lot of people didn't like this last season. For me, I see that it's like in my mind. I feel like it's logical if he's going to continue to go around and do his, fucking what's it called, vigilante shit, and she's going to focus on rebuilding Mandalore, that you would have two series. It's just oversaturation 100%. Don't get me wrong. However, if that's the direction that it's going, which is what it looks like, like I see that. So I don't think I understand what they're doing, I guess I could say. But you're right with Disney and oversaturation and the Marvel and the fuck. It's like just fucking do something new. Stop trying to just ride the old IP-ness over and over and over again, for fuck's sake.
Well, sometimes it's a good ride, though. People love that sometimes.
Yeah,
so I'm saying.
Clearly.
Nostalgia penis,
Some people are saying
Nostalgia penis. Rude.
But I just think that overall, they had a good idea here, and I really think that they're trying to push something new, but at the same point, they're making some of the same mistakes by doing some of the same things over again. Honestly, I still enjoy all these. I'd still enjoy watching it. It's not like I'm going to not watch it. I know some people might stop, but it's not like I'm not going to watch it. I'm as we all see, I'm looking for like something to like blow my socks off again, and Ahsoka didn't do that. I mean, I still enjoyed Ahsoka, but didn't blow my socks off like I thought it was going to. And Mando, it's too. What were you saying, Sean?
Well, like my whole issue with Ahsoka, and look at the past episodes. I know that people go watch these, on their coffee breaks or whatever. But I thought Ahsoka, naming it that gave the wrong impression of what the show was.
Yeah, we talked about that before. Yeah.
You spent so much more time with these rebel characters and catching up, building off of what they did in the cartoon, that just making Ahsoka be the focal point just really was a disservice, I think, to the show and the marketing especially. So
it was because Rosario Dawson was Ahsoka, and she was the most recognizable name, and she was in Mandalorian, and they were just capitalizing on that. Well, it's a marketing thing. I'm not saying it's right, because it's not. I agree with you. I'm just saying that's why.
Honestly, it feels like one of those just like producers kind of pulled the card and said, "It's fucking name this. We can't come up with a better name. Just fucking move on with it." Like,
Mary Elizabeth Winstead was spectacilar.
She was great.
Actually.
She was one of the best parts of that show.
She was my favorite part of it, honestly.
She got to do fuck all, but she did wonderful. In the entire thing.
She did fucking at least 6 hours in hair and makeup every fucking day. I'll let you know that. So
they should have had fun with it. They should have called that show something like, like one of the Star Wars movies, like Rise of the Resistance or something like that. That would have been kind of cool to like name it something that has like a Star Wars feel to it, as opposed to just somebody's name.
Return of the Revenge of the Rebels.
The Rebels.
Yeah,
bam.
And if you're gonna call it Ahsoka, call it Angry Ahsoka, because she was a real fucking hard pill to swallow for the first 4 episodes at least.
Well, you brought that up too, earlier, right? Like there was such a tonal shift between what the cartoon Ahsoka was
100%.
and the Ahsoka we got in the show. And yes, she did go through a war, which apparently changes people.
Who hasn't? Who hasn't in the Star Wars universe?
Seven. Thank you for your service, GR. Anyway.
Yeah, I just see where they could have gone, and I know that there's a whole changing of the guard. Like Filoni's taking over more. Jon Favreau has kind of stepped down a little bit from it, and Filoni seems like to be the man. And he's getting more and more power, and so whatever his idea will move. And that's more George Lucas too, but because he was trained with Lucas. So I hope they go bigger with the season 4. I hope that it is going to be really good, and I still will watch it. I'm still going to give it a chance, and I think that we will find out very soon, of course, but I think that they can turn this ship around and bring it all together and have a great ending to this whole in-between franchise they've created. And then, send these characters off in the distance and bring new ones in. But we're going to have that sequel series coming in with Rey, and we'll have to see how that is too, because this is happening, everybody.
Why did you just E.T. Ray?
Yeah, why is E.T. Ray?
That was my best. That was my best Alec Guinness. I'm sorry, that was my best Alec Guinness. Like Ray. If you watch the movie,
I'm sorry. Ray Star Wars. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
One hundo E.T. You just said, by the way.
It was kind of like Ray. I can't. No, I'm not like Ringo or something. I don't know what the fuck that was.
You're not leaving ET, by the way.
That was something.
I think you nailed it.
Yo, player. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pep Star needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.